again. So we're going to be doing the eyeliner, and I've already put some eyeline on my brush, and I'm just showing you how pigmented it is. You can use your hand as a palette. You want to keep your brush tips as flat as possible when doing this, so it makes it easier to not make mistakes. So you can see it's as flat as I can possibly get, and you're just going to pat it on. You don't want to start off by making straight lines and making mistakes. I need my mirror. I finally realized I need a mirror as opposed to doing this via the iPad. And so you can see I'm just patting it on, which is a good technique and practice for people just starting. Always, I'm going to reiterate, the shorter end should go the direction that you're going in, not the other way around. And just to make it painfully obvious, you know, mime the whole thing. So here I go. So we're going to keep patting it on, and you're not going to push hard. And always look at yourself, you know, take a minute to look at yourself. You know, that measure twice, cut once whole mentality. And you're going to get as close to the eyelash line as possible. When you're doing that, your brush becomes blunt and it gets pigment from your eye onto the brush. So you're going to flatten it against your hand again, and that'll help bring the dark back up to the tip of the brush. And you're going to make just dabs, don't make lines. You can always add more later, but you can't take it off later. Well, you could, but then you'd have to take everything off and you'd have to start again. That really sucks. Always give yourself a look in different angles. Make sure it looks good, almost natural. I guess I felt like it looked good. Now we're going to put some wet on the bottom, just in the corner for later on to smudge it out. Now when making your cat tail, you want to take a cue really from the underneath of your eyes, like your lower lashes. That way you can always get the cattail that's right for that eye. And that's what I did there. Now I felt like my eyeline was losing pigment, like the eyeliner was. So I'm showing you, like, this is what happens. And so you can just add some more eyeline into your lid of your pot if it's already dry. And you can see I'm just mixing it up, and of course it's going to be painfully long because, you know, I want to make sure you see exactly what to do, and some stupid faces, and roll my eyes at myself. And now I'm going to flatten it again. Always make sure you flatten it, because if you don't, then, you know, it's going to become blunt and you get really thick lines that you don't want. And then this is how you get, like, you know, oh, now this eye is bigger. So now we're going to go back. Instead of just having some weird line there, we're going to go back. And now I am going to make a straight line because you have already your eyeliner that's close to your eyelashes. And you're just joining that line, your cat tail, to your eyeliner. So it doesn't look like you have, like, you know, just a check mark there, because that doesn't look nice. When you're using your eyeline and you're putting it on dried powder pigment, it's going to start to, you know, look like the darkness is fading. So here I'm just trying to show you, like, you know, this is kind of what it looks like now, and it's not as dark. So we want to put some more pure pigment in the lid. And I'm trying to show you, but it's kind of hard. So you see me just kind of dipping it in there, trying to grab a whole bunch out. I'm trying to illustrate that you really don't need that much. And you're going to put it in the already wet lid. If it's not wet enough, then just put some more eyeline in it. It's basically like working with watercolor. So you just make adjustments as needed. And of course, you know, I love using the back of my hand because I can always dip it again if I need it. So now I'm going to make that line a little bit darker. And, like, this is more like a night look per se. I see these girls, you know, wearing, like, heavy eyeliner and false eyelashes when I go to the bank during the middle of the day. I'm just kind of like, no. So when you're going to go to the corner of your eye, you really want to make sure your brush is super flat and you get right as close into the lash line as you can. Obviously, we don't want you to put it in your eyeball, but... And you might have that little guy there, that little thing at the bottom, and it's okay to wipe it away. Because, you know, you don't want to have a black dot on the corner of your eye. Or maybe you do. Maybe that's your thing. I don't know. So now I'm going to go over and just darken it to my desired, blackness. So now I'm just looking, is this good? Does it look lame? Okay, so we're going to shadow out the bottom, but do we want to do that with a wet brush? No. So we're going to dry our brush off, wipe our brush off, but we're not going to do it on makeup wipe. We're going to get some toilet paper or a cotton pad or whatever you want to do. Just make it so that it's something that's going to soak up as much off there as you possibly can until you get that kind of little bit. And then that should be dry enough now. Now you can do the under part of your eye. And again, you want to get as close to the lash line as possible. There really shouldn't be a line between your eyelashes and then your eyeliner on the bottom. That just looks weird. I don't know who's doing that or who started that, but they should stop that now. So we're going to get some dry eyeliner now, and we're going to dab it off. Like, we really want to dab it off because it's really heavy pigment. This is a pure oxide. And you can always go back onto your hand to get more. And so if you want the smoke to kind of, smudge out at the outer corner of your eye, start bringing it out and down. It just looks nice. I don't know, I just like it. And it's subtle enough that it doesn't look like a, raccoon. And, you can always make faces, stretch out your face. So now we're going to take our fine tip, and we're just going to smudge it out more because it has no pigment on it, so it'll smudge it out rather than add more pigment. And, I mean, this isn't even perfect. I mean, there's so many different smudging techniques, so many different ways, you could smoke it out at the bottom that look just as good. Final product, makeup, no makeup. Ta-da! Remember to get all of these products in this video at www.splashwalk.biz.